Hi guys, it's me, Nancy Finch, doing tea with Nan on a Monday. Oh, it's a lovely day. It's not raining. It's beautiful out there. It's quite refreshing actually. I've been out in the garden already. So I hope you're all great on this Monday. I love Mondays, as you know. They are my favourite days. So I hope you can relax for half an hour or 20 minutes or so and have a little chat with me, chat with Nan. Yeah, let me know how you got on with last week's homework. We had a few things to look at, didn't we? We had things, I think we did, we did throat one last week. And this time we're doing the third eye. I'm not awake yet, I'll tell you. So we're doing the third eye today because we're sort of working through all the chakra areas, just generally as a sort of a casual thing, going through each one of those areas, demonstrated by that, of course, with different talks that I'm doing, different things I've got. Hi, Ellen. Lovely to see you, darling. I hope you're having a lovely Monday so far and making all that lovely jewellery. You're amazing. I hope you got on really well and you got some shows coming up, I think. I hope so. Christmas ones, have you? I hope so. Tell me about it. So, yeah. Nan talks. Yes. So many of them are geared for all of the body, but in particular, they're directed at one or more, as I say. So I'm going to choose some. I've already chosen some. There's 8 I've chosen from those talks, and I've done 35. Oh, hi, Ellen. Hi, Irene. Nice to see you. It's lovely to see you. Hi, Katie. I thought you might pop on. I thought you might have got my message. It's lovely to see you. Oh, I hope everyone's okay. I'm always happy on a Monday. I love Mondays because it's a fresh beginning of the week and anything can happen. It's really nice. I'm glad Tigger's all right, is he? Irene, that's lovely. I hope Tigger's all right. Lovely cat. Yes, basically, I've done 35 talks and I've got them all sort of geared for different areas of the body. So this time we've only got 8 of these that I've looked at so far that I've presented. But I've got 70 altogether to do, so there'll be more on this area once I get going with these. Once I finish them, I can then revise what was really good for you, so that would be good. Why are we working on this area today is because we're working up through and we can always go back down again and revise, as I say. Oh, Annie, that's lovely to see you. And I've got some roses on there. That's nice. So, yeah, why are we working on this area? Well, for a lot of us, me included, trust can be an issue. And that's what happens when we don't trust ourselves. We shut this down and we've got to have this open. Otherwise, our perception is distorted and we don't tend to trust our perception. We don't trust what we're feeling, what we're understanding around us in this world. That's just on an emotional level. We might have lack of self-belief. We might have lack of trust, like I say. I've got a little list here. Lack of intuition. Maybe you don't trust your intuition. That's always been my thing. I'm very intuitive. But do you really trust it? That's the thing. Can you really trust it? Your perception of things can be distorted by your own feelings about how your own worth, whether you think that you're right, whether you think you could be wrong about lots of things or past issues coming up. So this one, if this one's open, you're naturally going to be able to trust yourself better. That's what I've found. Spiritual connection with yourself and your spiritual development. You know, how much you grow emotionally, physically, you know, in a more, a much healthier place, you know. Because when you're happy emotionally, physically, you are working well. And that's what happens when this one's open. You can be a better person because of it, because you can trust yourself when this one's open, and it opens when you do some of these exercises. And because I know they work, I've used them on myself. I used to get really bad sinuses all the time. I used to get vertigo a lot when I was younger as well. And as soon as I started learning about this for myself, as soon as I developed these things, I no longer got sinuses. I don't get it. I hardly ever get sinuses now. And I can't remember the last time I had vertigo. But it's something that I used to have because this one was shut. And when this is shut, it upsets everything in this area. So I don't suffer that anymore. And I hope you don't. This is what I want to try and help you with. On a physical area for yourself, it might be your eyes are tired, or you might have watery eyes. Some people get that. Some people get headaches just here or at the side temples maybe. Your sleep will be affected. That's a hormone thing. If this one is shut, then it's definitely going to upset your hormones, and it will make you wake up in the middle of the night. And that's what happens to a lot of people. As I say, vertigo, hormones, sinuses, ears might play up. Yeah, your teeth might be a bit upset up the top here. Hi, Chris. Lovely to see you. I like to see more people on here. I know you've got busy lives, but you can always share this and then perhaps inspire people, just give people a little bit more ideas of what they can do to help themselves, which would be really cool. Yeah. So I hope you're all okay, everybody. And it's nice to see your little faces pop up on here. And it's just started raining. It's going to sound really, really loud in here in a minute. Okay, so to start with, if you've got pen and paper, guys, then you could perhaps write down the numbers of the Nan talks that might be good for you. If you fancy, I mean, some of you, hi Chris, it's nice to see you on there. Some of you have already tried some of these Nan talks. Some of you have. And you've brought back some lovely feedback. I'm getting some really nice positive feedback about some of the exercises, especially the rucksack one. That's really good. So, and you can always go back and look at those on my website. So it's www.nancyfinch.co.uk. Okay. If you go on there, you can listen to the meditations and you can listen to the talk I've recently put up, and I've put it on Facebook and YouTube as well. The talk I've recently put up was Watch Your Language, and that was number 35, dated the 1st of the 10th. So if you want to have a look at that as well, that's really good fun. And it does it makes you understand how you can reinforce something that isn't good for you with your language. I was always doing that. I was always saying, oh, I'm going to go on holiday and I'm going to, I better get sick on holiday. Whenever I go on holiday, I always get sick. I used to say that because that used to happen, and then I'd reinforce it and I'd have to watch that. So it is quite funny what we say to ourselves and how we reinforce negative things that we don't want. So have a little look at that. That's just a nice one. Mostly that one is for the blue, but it's good for everything. So if you've got your pen and paper handy, again, we're going to start with chakras. Number 1, dated on the 1st of the 2nd. That's really because on a physical level, when you're opening these chakras, you could concentrate on this one. If you had an issue here, just the very action of opening that will definitely help. You can't see it, but it will help you. I explain it more in that talk. So that's dated the 1st of the 2nd, and it helps to physically open that area because you don't have to understand what shut it. It's good fun to open it. The second one I've got is number 4, and again, it sounds like bingo, doesn't it? 7-year cycle, dated the 22nd of the 2nd. Now that one is really about working out what you're in that year, basically which emotional area you're working through. And it just happens to be, if you sort of go through them all, you can really help to amplify those areas for a whole year by using the colour, by using the affirmation. So have a look to see if you're in that one. That might be interesting because it's, as I say, a tonic for the whole body. But when I explain it in the talk, you'll be able to see where you are, whether that's your issue or wherever the issue is, you can work on that. Okay? You've got some affirmations and some ideas and external context cues as I go on about, something to focus on. Okay? So that's quite a nice one. Number 10 is Paint the Bell. Now, that's really interesting because when this one is shut, we don't sleep very well, or we wake up and we think about things. A lot of people are doing that, and then they don't really get a good quality of sleep. Okay? So if you can look at that one, Paint the Bell, and that's dated on the 5th of the 4th, yes, that is actually for hormones. It helps if you're doing this mindful action with an intention, a colour that you're focused on, you're actually taking yourself into a nice, quiet, still place. You're not thinking, but because you're focused on that colour, you're going to be doing an action, you're going to be breathing as you do that nice and slow. And because you're focusing on purple, it releases the pineal and hypothalamus, releases in your brain, releases lovely natural hormone that trickles down your spine and puts you to sleep peacefully. It's really nice for peace of mind as well. Don't do it when you're driving. No, but it would be lovely if you did look at that, because that is really good for you to release that natural hormone that helps you relax and helps put you into that nice place of sleep, a good sleep as well. So it's a nice healing colour. And I very occasionally use that one, sometimes, if I find I'm just thinking about things too much. very rare. I don't sleep well, but if I do have a problem and wake up and I'm thinking, then I naturally just start painting the bell. What was interesting about that one is that when you start using it, your brain remembers, oh, yeah, that's that feeling again. And naturally, like putting a switch on happens quicker and quicker and quicker, or like building a muscle up. Hi, Dave. Oh, thank you. You're looking well too from that little icon. Oh, thank you for saying that, darling. That's lovely. Yeah, it's all a state of mind, looking well or feeling well, isn't it? I told one of my clients the other day to, instead of feeling his age, but to go back 20 years and think about himself then, and then look in the mirror and say, yes, you are that age. So today I'm going to pretend to be 40. Oh, well, I can always pretend. But my body believes me, and so does my mind. It actually starts to behave on a subconscious level. It takes that instruction to behave like you were younger, and that makes you feel better. So that's another thing to be thinking about, actually, guys. Just tell yourself something nice in the mirror today. Say you're wonderful, or it's not an ego thing. It's a value thing. And it's being able to sort of understand and be a team with your body and value it anyway, no matter what it looks like or what it's doing. So say something nice to yourself in the mirror, or tell yourself you're a few years younger. That might be a nice thing to do. Or that you're fit and active when you're not. Because when you lie to your subconscious, it helps to try and make that happen, that created intention that you're aiming for, okay? So just as a bit of fun for everybody today, just look in the mirror and say you're so many years younger. Let me know how you get on with that, because I am actually going to talk about mirror work as well. Number 27, that's dated the 10th of the 8th, 21, because it supports your feelings. It makes you feel like you're a part of, like a team, like I say. It makes you feel like you've got your inner child's hand and you're holding him or her and you're saying that you're okay. Validation, supported feelings are very important, because we have to be our own sense of support. Most of the time anyway. And it's a very healthy place to be, to support yourself. So yeah, so I'm glad you popped on there saying I look good. Thank you very much, Dave. It took me off my subjects into something else. But it is an informal tea with Nan, so you can talk about anything you want, guys. You can ask me how you feel, you know what I can give you to help you feel better physically, emotionally. Or if you don't want to do it on here, you can just message me later and I will tune in and I will recommend one of them for you if you want to do it privately, if you don't want to say anything here. I can understand that. So, okay, where are we? We've got Paint the Bell, which I really hope you do, because I've had people, once they've started doing this, they just don't have trouble sleeping again, even years later, which is really cool. Me too. I mean, if I start this exercise, I never finish the first action of it. So it does work. Programming the mind, you see. So then we've got colouring book. Now the colouring book's number 23, just double checking that, yeah. And that's dated the 12th of the 7th, 21. Now that's quite obvious, because when you're colouring in, you're using the energy of the colour and you're calming your central nervous system. That's very good for you. So when you're colouring in the indigo colour, you can't see it very well on here, I don't think, but when you're colouring in indigo, you are concentrating on that colour. And naturally, because you're concentrating on the colour, it will help to stimulate your own area. This resonates with that colour. So it actually opens it. And even people that are colourblind, this works with. Yeah, it does. Because it doesn't matter about the absolute detail of the colour. It matters that you're focused on that area. Okay, and even variants of that colour will work. So that's quite good. So have fun with that, because people are very surprised how much they really enjoy colouring in when they do it. And if you really wanted to, suppose when you had a problem with, I don't know, say you had a tummy ache, or you had a bad back, lower back, and you've got bad eyes, then you would concentrate on the red, the yellow and the indigo, you see? And I've actually shown you that, I think, on that talk. That was a while back, as I say. So if you have a look at that, the 12th of the 7th, it will show you where you can work and what colours you can use. And supposing if you had a really bad back and just a little twinge of a tummy ache, then you'd obviously concentrate mostly on the red, and then you'd have the yellow to back it up. So if you were doing a little picture or colouring in a flower or something, you could have mostly red with little yellow bits on the side. You're still resonating with that colour. And we go on about colour quite a lot. Irene and I do, don't we, Irene? We always talk about what colour we're wearing. Yes, I'm wearing a blue today with black. Quite like that. So where are we now? We've got dreams. I don't think I mentioned the dreams. No. The dreams. Okay, dreams talk is number 11, and that's dated on the 12th of the 4th, 21. That's all about detachment, because when you have a dream, you wake up, you kind of get a fog here. Sometimes you've got that dream hangover going on, and you're trying to analyse what that dream was most of the day if it's been quite intense. So what you need to do is think about the dream, think about the feelings that you had, and if they're negative, then you blow them out. You literally get rid of them, and then you breathe in something else. And if you want to look at that and how to do it, then you can have a look at the Nan talk for half an hour. Sometimes I do that. I have very wacky, weird dreams. So when I do have weird dreams, I'm always trying to think, now, what is that trying to tell me? What do I need to change? Or what am I worried about or thinking about? So the dreams can be very useful, but they can hang over all day unless you detach from a negative feeling from them. They kind of influence your day, and they'll influence what you attract by the law of attraction as well. Because if you're feeling, perhaps you had a dream that was fearful or insecure, then you're going to have that feeling in your body all day long. And if you're feeling it, you're going to attract more of that into your day, which isn't good for you. So if you can detach from it, understand it, detach from it, perhaps breathe in the opposite. Or you can do what I do, is I go into the wheel every single morning before I even get out of bed. I create the wheel, bring my feelings into the centre of the wheel. And that's number 7, by the way, 15th of the 3rd. I do it every day. Into the wheel, into the hub. And in here, I create 3 things I need every day. What's Irene saying? Yes, I do. I'm wearing dark green jumper. Nice. And a scarf with cats on. Different colour. Oh, lovely. You've got greens, blues and different colours. Lovely. That's very healing, grounded, communicating. That's lovely. That's inner child joy as well. Nice. So, yeah, well done, Irene. Thank you for that, darling. So going back into the wheel, that's what I do every day. You want different things every day. Every day you've got different emotions need cleansing, and you might want energy, or you might want satisfaction or peace of mind or something. So you just create what you want. Mine was organisation today. And then you internalise it, take it down into you and come back out of the wheel. Well, it's a really nice mindful thing to do every day. And I don't honestly think there'll be a day I don't do it, because I found it really productive to do. I become what I've just put in the wheel, which is really good. So I wasn't intending to talk about that one today, but in the wheel you can create anything. You can create trust and happiness and well-being if you want to in the wheel, because that's your mindful intention to internalize that. So where are we now? So we've got the dreams we've just talked about, the colouring book, the mirror. Yes, you can say anything you like to support your feelings in the mirror. Good. What else have we got? Stretch time. I do that as well, by the way, every day. I've got a few favourites of mine that I find very useful, because if I stretch time before I start work, I wake up and I think, working at this time of the day, and people that know me know I'm very busy with my work and I love my work. But just to make sure I set the intention and to stretch time to have a nice, easy, happy, productive day, I stretch that bracket of time that I've got before I start work, and I move it with my perception. So I'm stretching this anyway, you see. I'm stretching my perception of time. And that makes everything calmer, and it produces a feeling of peace and, easy. It just feels like the day will flow, because you already feel it when you've done that. You feel in control of that. And those feelings will help to open that. Really good. So yes, that's very good. It'll help you to trust yourself as well, and trust what you're doing, because everything will just fit into place. People that have done it always tell me that. So that's good. They're getting nice feedback. I'm getting feedback, and they're getting nice reward from that, because they say, I stretched time today and everything was so much easier. Well, that's good for your blood pressure. It's good for your central nervous system. It's good for everything. Just makes you feel more at one with yourself when you're not rushing about. You can hear what you need in that day. You can hear what's important and go where you need to go without having stress and worry affect you. So what's the other one I've got? Yeah, okay, I talked about watch your language. That's number 35 I talked about at the very beginning. And that's really about watching what you're saying to reinforce. Anything negative is really bad, you see. So we do that without realising. That's, as I say, on the 1st of the 10th. One of my favourites, because I always have to watch my language, and I do make a reference to swearing in there. It's great. It's good fun. But I mean, watch what you're saying to yourself. Watch what you're reinforcing that isn't serving you. I'm no good at this. I'm rubbish at that. Or this is always my problem. Or I always have this pain. Instead of saying, quite a lot of people say my pain, my problem, and they own it. And this talk is all about how we shouldn't be owning anything that isn't serving us. It's the condition, the headache, the problem, the whatever it is. And you don't own it. And you can actually lie to yourself and say, well, I used to have that up until this minute. Because otherwise your brain believes you and reinforces it and says, okay, we'll keep that then. You want to keep that? We'll keep that. And you don't want to be doing that, especially, you know, on a conscious level. You might be suffering some condition or be in pain or inflammatory thing. This helps you to think about a difference that you want and order that difference by saying, I no longer have that. I used to have that up until a minute ago. And your brain goes, okay, then we won't have it. So if we do that, we're actually kind of advertising to our subconscious, we're not having that anymore. That used to be our story. That's an old story. And then it helps to create a new one. And that's why I never have vertigo or anything else, because I used to have it. I don't have it now. And the more you say it, the more your brain believes you and it creates it. Let it do the work for you. You haven't got to worry about it on the surface of your 3% consciousness. Just let your subconscious do the work for you. So that's what I like doing. I like pushing the easy button in life and using these tools because they all work at different times. So if any of you would like to try some of these just to see how you feel, they can only help. They can't hurt you at all. And I'd love your feedback as always, because it does help me. I am progressing slowly with the book and I'm writing stuff out. But as I'm doing that, I'm bearing in mind your feedback and what made a big difference to you and which tools you like to link them with. Okay. So next tea with Nan that we're going to have next Monday at 12 will be about the crown. This is all about connecting your wisdom and trusting yourself in that area to connect to people. Fruition of self, really. It's about you really being abundant and trusting everything you've developed yourself to be. You know, if we don't connect to our world, we're in an isolated place of whatever we developed ourselves to be up to now. We need to be able to get out and connect and be abundant in that and flourish and be fulfilled. Well, we can't do that if this is shut. This is a bit like the front door being shut and you can't go out, but you're ready to go out. What does Irene say? I did the coat one the other day. It was really amazing. Thank you. Oh, Irene, that's lovely. The coat's a nice one. I like the coat. I haven't used that for a while, actually, but it's useful if you want to go out and feel protected or, I don't know, safe, to feel like in some way you're bubbled, if you like. Then you use this imaginary coat, and Irene's has been referencing it, and it's an imaginary black coat which protects you. It's a big coat, so all your energies can flow inside, and that's number 13, and that's the 26th of the 4th. And what you do is you zip this coat up. It's got different colour linings in it. So the same colour, different colours of the chakras. So they've all got different affirmations that go with them. But if you focused on the colour, you've got a feeling that goes with that, and you zip up, and now all you've got is that feeling. So I made it up when I wanted the orange area. I wanted to feel protected from an environment that was a bit of a toxic relationship at the time with somebody, and I wanted that protection away from them, their energy. So I just zipped up. It's lovely. I was going to get, oh bless her, Irene was going to get the flu jab. So okay, so what you do with that, you'd have the well-being one, wouldn't you? Or the green, I'm always well, or something. Whatever one I've given you in that affirmations would all help anyway. But you're zipping up so you feel protected, you feel safe, you feel well inside this bubble that you've created. Zip up. It's lovely. It works really well. It makes you, you become unaffected by things that normally would worry you on the outside of your world. So that is quite a nice one to use if you wanted some respite, or use it in different ways. Irene used it when she went and got the jab. So as I say, that's number 13, and that's the 26th of the 4th. So it's good for all chakra areas. So have a look to see which one you would need. I do explain it quite well for half an hour at the time when I did that talk. I'm forgetting some of the stuff I said in it now, but if you go back to it, you'll know that there's different areas affected by different affirmations and different colours as we zip up. You make so much sense, says John, my cousin. I'm going to stop thinking about my troubled past. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't serve us, John. If we look back, oh, hi Jane. If we look back and we've got some bad feelings about our past, we need to cleanse those. There's lots of tools I've got, and I can help you with that. But by focusing on a negative thing, we're only reinforcing it in our bodies. Our body's energy feels that. And we reinforce that feeling again on the outside of us by the law of attraction. We don't want more of that. We don't. We want to make sure we clean it. We've got lessons from everything we've learned. You know, everything we've experienced has got its value. And once you get the lessons, then you are in charge of how you feel, because you now understand it, you cleanse it, you take charge of it. You're no longer a victim of your feelings, you're a master of them. And that's all you have to do, is set that intention, but not be afraid of those feelings, or not judge them either. Because if we judge our past, or things that we feel are heavy in our minds or our hearts or our past, we are only going to, the judgment of it is going to make it feel heavy. You know, don't judge it in a heavy way. Judge it in an objective way. You know, you're looking at it. You haven't got your a steel coat or an armoured coat on to drag you down. Your emotional balloon is higher because you're looking objectively. And talking about emotional balloons, everybody, if you can just think of yourself as a balloon somewhere here, just think, what would bring you up to here? What would make your emotional balloon higher? What makes you happy? What makes you giggle? What makes you smile? That's what you need to be doing more of, because when you raise your energy higher, you attract more of that happiness into your life. And it's good for your body cell energy as well. So it's lovely being on here. Time is flying. It's nearly past already. So I hope you can play with this one, or any of them. Just go back to the website. Have a little think about which one you might need. They will be colour-coded at some point. But I've given you a few to work on now. I've given you 8 actually today, if you fancy playing with those to help this area of your body. So www.nancyfinch.co.uk if you want to go back and have a look at any of those. The talks I do, and I always release them mostly now on a Saturday, and I do them on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, please like, subscribe and share. But yes, the talks I do, they're all very good for you anyway, but Step Into Your Hero, the one I'm going to be doing on Saturday, is really good for your solar plexus area. It's about taking control and feeling empowered, and sort of like blending what you want from another person's, what you admire about somebody, bringing that into your consciousness and believing, because anyone that you admire, by the way, you actually have those qualities yourself, but you may not have developed them. But you admire that person because you actually are in tune with them. So this is what I'm going to be talking about. Step into your hero. You're going to be sort of taking that you love about them into yourself. You're going to wake that up inside yourself. So that's going to be a nice talk. I use it a lot, actually. I've got a few heroes I absolutely love. And before I do anything that I feel is challenging, I might want a little bit of that person's wonderful, whatever it is I admire about them. And I'll explain more about that next week. But yeah, you might have different things that you feel you want amplified to make you a better person, or to be more powerful, more productive, whatever. But it can only make you more of yourself, and you can shine a brighter light, and you deserve that. So I hope you've enjoyed our little tea with Nan, everybody. Cheers. Have a lovely week. Make sure that you keep yourself happy, emotionally happy. Think of that balloon. Maybe buy yourself a balloon just to remind you. Thank you for the hearts. I like having hugs. Thank you very much, everybody. And share this with people if you like. It will definitely help if anybody was to play with those tools that I've got there. It would help them physically, learn the areas I told you all around here. It would help them emotionally. Definitely help them emotionally. And that might be the bit you see first or feel first. Okay, so yeah, have fun, and I shall see you next week, and I hope you will stay well and happy. Okay, it's a namaste moment. And oh, thank you, Annie. It's lovely. I love the hearts. Thank you very much. And I hope you'll have a really good week. Mondays are the best days because you can plan what you're going to do. Have a new beginning. New beginnings are always good. Okay, take care. I shall see you all next week, and I shall put up another Nan Talk at the weekend. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Lots of love to everybody. Bye.